Okay. All right. Well, we are recording. Welcome, everybody. Brian and I are going to do a quick nitty-gritty, low-down, 30-minute training on how to host successful Facebook events. So we had a couple things. This is just kind of off the cuff. We don't really have like a whole agenda and a plan. We were just going to kind of walk through a few things. So if you guys have questions, is there anything specific before we start that you guys need to know? Like, because we were going to take you right from the beginning on how to create the event. So we should start there. Okay.
That's what I would need.
Okay. Anything else specific, Kirk? I saw your thumb up. You're muted. Kirk is muted.
Jan wishes she could do that all the time. No, I was going to say, are you going to talk about inviting and following up on your invites?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. All right. So let's just, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Ryan, do you want me to show them how to create the event, or do you want to do that?
Yeah, you probably should, because I'm not.
You got a baby on your lap. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm on my phone, so I can't really see.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me do, just give me, I'm going to do a screen share with you guys. Is that, okay, you guys can, I'm assuming you can see my screen. Okay, okay. So I'm in Facebook. This is my main page where I go to my news feed. And when you create an event, you basically just want to scroll down, and this is obviously best to do on a computer. I've never tried to create a Facebook event from a phone. I'm sure you can, but want to go to events, and the little blue button here that says create events, you just click that. And then I usually create private events because this allows me to invite the people that I want to come to the event to be there. If you create a public event, it will show, like, ever scroll through some of your events and you're wondering why, like, you know, why do I see some of these things? It's probably because those people created public events. So my events are always private. So I'm going to click on that, and then it brings up this little screen where you get to pick how you want your event to look. So I normally upload a photo. You can choose a theme, which is some of these little pictures here, which are totally fine if some of these coincide with your event. Like maybe you're doing like a summer, look at this cute little, what is this, like bears in a car or something. But I normally will upload a photo because I've always got photos and stuff saved to my desktop. So I'll just go in here. We're going to create a pretend one. And I'll do, I'll pick one of these. This is one of the Facebook, one of the banners that I uploaded from the HLR website. Okay, so this is a Shred 10 event. Okay, and then we're going to name our event Pretend Shred Event. And you're going to ask the location, because sometimes when you're doing an event, it's actually like in person at somebody's house, like when I do Salad in a Jar. But even when I do ones at my own house, for the purpose of the location, I will maybe put like my cross streets. I don't put my address on there in case people are inviting people I don't know. You don't necessarily want them to know your address until they're ready to show up for your party. But since this is an online event, we're just going to say in your pajamas. Okay. And the event will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can change your time zone. You can pick an end time. One tip I would give you when you're, if you're creating an event that lasts for like, maybe for one day, you decide that you're going to do your posts all in one day, or maybe your posts are going to go throughout a period of a few days. You want to extend the end time of your event out a few days, maybe even a week past the last posting that you're going to do, and you'll decide how you're going to post. We'll talk a little bit about the format. Brian and I will. But you want your end date to be later than when your last post will be. So if we're just going to post all day tomorrow on Sunday, but I want people for the next week to be able to see this event easily, I'm going to pick an end date that goes to the following Sunday. Okay. And then you're going to put a description of your event, make it sound something interesting. I'll just put blah, blah, blah. But you want it to sound like, give people a description of what the event is. Why do you, what are we posting? What do you want them to see? And I can show you guys some samples of events, and I'll show you this because we just recently, Ryan and I did a shred event a couple weeks ago. So I'll show you how we wrote that up. But you want your description to sound, why would you attend an event? What would make you, if you were being invited to this, what would make you want to attend the event? And you really don't want to hide the fact that Juice Plus is part of this, but you don't want to vomit Juice Plus on people so that they feel like they're being invited to be sold to, because people are relatively turned off to that. So then you have the option to decide whether your guests can invite friends, and I always give that option because we always encourage people, once they accept the invite, we're like, great, thank you for doing that. Feel free to invite anybody else that you'd like to invite. And sometimes I either show or hide the guest list. If I have a small event and I'm not inviting a lot of people, I may not want my guests to see that there is a small guest list, because then they're like, oh, it's a little event, and maybe hiding the guest list creates a little FOMO, which is a good thing. Okay, so then I'm going to hit create my event, and this is going to take us into your actual event page. So here's your event. Okay. And now from here, we can invite people. So I guess, should we, Ryan, do you have, we want to talk about how to invite people, but are there, other than scripts and stuff, do you want to talk a little bit about who you invite or how you do that? If you can, with a baby on your shoulder.
Yeah, totally. So it's just going to depend on the type of event that you're having. And so we've done like the pregnant moms events before. So obviously that's a specific target of people that you're going to want to invite. But for the shred, I would say whoever, if you've been talking to someone about the shred, or if you've seen someone who has posted that they're, looking for a program, or they want to lose weight, or they're trying to eat better, those are kind of the people. Write them down. Like I always like screenshot post in my phone if I see someone who said they've been sick or something like that, so I can go back later and start that conversation with them if we're doing, some kind of immune system event. So that's one way to keep track of people and how to invite. But for the shred, I think, our target market is pretty huge because everybody wants to eat better or lose some weight or, start those healthy habits. So, yeah.
And then the Eric Worre, we've all been directed to listen to Eric Worre, but when you're inviting people, using the words, I thought of you because, and like Ryan said, keeping your list of, I've always got an ongoing list of people that, was somebody frequently hitting the like button on comments or posts that I created that were specific to the shred. So I want to make sure the next time I do an event, I want to invite those people specifically. Or if it's, like you said, immune health or pregnancy event or something, or people that you want to invite to a salad in a jar party, I try to keep notes of those people to invite to specific events.
Hey, Kristen?
Yeah.
Just a thought too, when you're talking about invites, it's so important to not only, what I do is I'll go down my list and invite them off of the page here, but then immediately I send them a private message and love on them and personally tell them, like you said, I thought of you because, and that way it's a dual thing. They're just not, it's not just another event. This one's special because they were personal.
Absolutely. And you can do that one way or the other. Some people like to, and I do think it might be more effective if when I have invited people to an event, I'll go through my list. And Facebook, like it brings up most of the people on your contact list. Like you can choose to see all of your friends, or if you're just having like a local salad in a jar party and you want to invite people from your local area, you can get more specific with what lists you want to see right here. And it'll bring those people up in that category. But you can message people first on the front end and say, hey, I'm hosting this event. and this is the topic. This is what we'll be discussing. And I can even share some verbiage here with you guys on another screen share. But messaging them privately and asking them, if I invite you, will you attend, or can I add you to the event? And then when they respond, then you go back in here and you select those people. And I'll deselect Erin, or she's gonna think we're doing something weird. Then you can go in and send the invite. So if I've asked Ryan, hey, can I invite you to this event? She says yes, then I go back in and click invite. Or you could do it the opposite way, where you go into the invite button, you select the people that you want to invite to the event, then hit send invites. So then they're added to the event. Then you go back and message each of them separately and say, hey, just a heads up, I'm hosting this event. This is what it's called. I added you to it. Here's what it's about. Could I ask you to please, hit the accept button or hit the going button so that you can see the posts. And then I will copy paste, like I'll take it just like this and do a, copy paste, and I'll send the message to that person privately. You can see it's going to take a minute because my computer's just waking up. So if I send a message to Ryan, I'm going to ask her to please attend my event, and I'm going to put a link to the event and send it right to her that way, so that there it is for her to see. So when she gets my text, all she has to do is click on it, and it takes her to the event, and she can hit going.
Can I jump in here really quick too? So what if you guys are new to the parties? One of the things these gals are talking about is make it personal. You don't want to like get your friend list come up to invite, and you just go click all and send out 7 million invites to people that don't even know. And along those lines, I always do the hide. I don't know, what's that called? Hide invites
list. Yeah, I most often do that too.
Yeah. So because here's the thing, you see a Facebook event, you get invited to a Facebook event, and it says 300 or 500 invited, 2 are going. You're like, wow.
I'm on the phone.
Right.
So,
it doesn't look too impressive.
Yeah. So hide that, but remember what these guys are saying is make it personal. We're in the relationship business, so awesome job. Anyway.
Yeah, and like you said, make it personal. Like add their name in there. Don't just send like this. Don't copy paste the same exact message to every single person. Hey, Kristen, and tell them why you invited them, like Jan said. So yeah, make sure you're not just using the same exact message for every single person, because people notice that, and people are always getting messages like that. So you want to stand out. And one thing I'll mention, since Kristen's talking about that, you can actually, and I'm going to do it the getaway and flip my screen and show you like this. But if you already have invited everybody, you can actually message your guests right here. If you hit message guests, and then you can send it either in a group message or individually. You're going to want to send them individually. But when you do it that way, it actually will already send them the link automatically to their Facebook Messenger, and they can select going or can't go from right there. So you don't even have to copy that link. You can just do it right there, super easy. And it makes it look really nice in Messenger.
It does. I think it looks better in Messenger. But how people, like some people, like they're not really ever on Facebook, or they respond more quickly to me on text. So I try to, it seems like I know that in my head, like, oh, I normally text this person, or I normally communicate with this person through Messenger. So reach them the way that you think that it's easiest. I mean, some people, you just don't have their cell phone number if you only communicate through Facebook. So creating the event part, that part I think is the easy part. It's getting the, inviting people, getting people to accept the invite. I'm going to hit stop share for now. Getting people to accept the invite. That's where the work comes in. Getting people to do that. Sometimes I feel like we spend more time doing the messaging, asking people to invite, and then we're like, okay, we have to do an event tomorrow. We better write a script. So get people's attention to agree to attend is the hard part. So, you have to kind of have a little bit of a thick skin, because you are going to get a lot of no's. People are invited to tons of stuff, and even the people that you think, or maybe have asked, please, please ask me for the next one, they forget. That's why it's super important to message them. If they said, yeah, keep notes. Like I keep, I don't know how you ever do it, but I have a notebook, and in my notebook, I have an events tab, and behind that, I keep little like tabs for each event. So if I'm inviting people to an event, like here's my salad and a jar party, I've written down all the people that I've invited, and then I write down who said yes. And then if they said that they wanted to come, but that they didn't hit yes on the Facebook page, I have to go back and nudge them and say, hey, don't forget our event's tomorrow. I don't want you to miss anything. We'd love to know what you think. Could you check this information out? And then send them the link, because it's easier. If you make them go back and look for it, they're like, whatever, I'll get to it later, and then they forget. So it's hard to get people you gotta have a thick skin, hard to get people to actually do it. So, and that's where some follow-up comes into play, and we can talk about that maybe in a few more minutes more toward the end. But I wanted to talk about the event itself. So look at that baby. If we could eat that kid for breakfast. That's a lot of baby. Wonder what she's feeding him. Juicy. Okay, so when Ryan and I do events, Facebook doesn't let you, I use Post My Party for in our Shred page. So all of our Shred information is like pre-posted. I can use an auto scheduler company to do that for me. Facebook events used to let you do that, but they took the ability away. It will probably come back someday, but in the meantime, you have to manually go in and post all of your stuff. So for now, an event, if you're trying to just do an informational event, like you're just sharing information about the Shred or sharing information about, maybe you're doing a Tower Garden Facebook page or Facebook event. For now, it might just be easier to keep that condensed into a 30-minute event where for 30 minutes you're posting, or an hour. Ryan and I did one last week that we did, it was throughout the day, but it was me, Erin, and Ryan. We had posts that we had written in a script, and we just divvied them out so that once an hour for a 12-hour period, there was something going up at, from 7 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. So then we took that script and we divvied it out so that about every 3 hours I had to post something. Every 3 hours Ryan had to post something, and then every 3 hours Erin had to. And it wasn't exact. I just set an old-fashioned alert in my calendar that I had to post number whatever, and sometime within that hour I went in and plopped my post in. So until we're able to go back to the automated way of doing it, you're going to have to manually do it. So just think of your availability and your timeline, and do you have help? So if it's just you doing it yourself, you might want to condense it into 30 minutes or an hour. And I don't know, Ryan, if it's like, if you have an opinion, but I don't know if it's better to do it one way or the other, if it's just everything being blasted in there in 30 minutes or over the course of a day or 3 days. Like, I don't know that I've seen one be better than the other.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we've seen like any difference. I think it's going to be preference, because sometimes it's hard to, like, if we're doing them every like 3 or 6 minutes, it's like, oh, I got to get, it's kind of hectic. So I kind of like the events that are throughout the day, and then because people, we have short attention spans anymore, so they can go in throughout the day and see those, or later at night. I don't know if anyone's really going to stick around for like a solid 30 minutes anyway. So I think I like the ones that are spread out more.
Yeah. And then every time you're posting, as long as that guest has accepted your invitation to that event, every time you post something in that event, they get an alert. So when they're, when you go into Facebook and you have your alerts, your notification alerts, it will show, morning, Uriah. It will show them, oh, there's some, so-and-so posted in the Shred 10 event party plan or party, whatever. So then it'll drive them in there. They'll click on it and they can see like, oh, I want to see what that was. Let me just show you guys. I'll do a screen share here again and show you. Is this the one? What one do I want? I'm trying to make sure I pick the right screen. Okay, can you guys see this? I'm going to assume yes. Okay, whoops, where did it go? Where did you guys go? That's weird. Okay. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'm looking for an event. I want to just show the past one here. Events. And I'm going to go to past events. You can always find your past events. And where'd it go? Now I've got to look for it because I didn't. Okay, this was the one. We did one called Get Your Shred On. So you guys can see the post. And I can share this document with you. What we did was we took, in the Healthy Living Revolution, there's actually, it's a Facebook event. I don't think it was called anything shred specific. It was maybe, what was it called? The Freedom Revolution, Ryan? I think that's what it was called. And we modified it to make it a little more shred specific. And we combined some of the posts. We felt like there were too many posts, so we just changed some of the information and combined them. But here's the event description. So we made it sound interesting. Is your health exactly where you want it to be? What if you could learn about tools to take your health back? Please join us for this live Facebook event to be inspired and empowered with incredible health ideas. Learn about how others are learning to take healthy back by making simple changes that lead up to big results. Invite friends that need to learn more. So we were encouraging people to invite friends. And you can see here's all of our posts. But we had all of this in a script that we shared through Dropbox. So all of the actual verbiage was all written out. So when each of us had to do our post every 3 hours, we just copied from the Dropbox and pasted it into this event. So it was all done already. We already knew what we had to do. So if I was out in the grocery store and my alarm went off and it was time to post, I just slapped it in there. And all of the images too. So I can share this with you, or maybe I'll just share it with Jan, and Jan, you can share it with your team. So here's all the different posts. And then the comments, and a few times through the event, we had people go live. And there's that baby again. He's famous. So he's
always in my arms, apparently. Being
always there.
And speaking of how you can post, it's nice because you can post from the computer or you can post from your phone. So Dropbox has an app. Hold on, Uriah, stop. Dropbox has an app, and it's super easy. You just copy the text, and then you can save the image to your phone. It saves really nice, and you can post it. So what I usually do is I'll take everything from Dropbox and put it in like the notes section on my phone, because I usually post from my phone. I don't really post from my computer. So save all the pictures to my phone, and then I just pop it in. So it's really super easy once you have like the script made and everything ready to go. Once you're in the event, it's pretty easy to post it in.
I'm always afraid to post from my phone, but Ryan's pretty brave that way. So I always feel like I have to be in front of my computer, but I know I need to get more confident with that. But it's good that you have the options, because you really can run a Facebook party no matter where you're at. So I will share that document with you guys, but basically I think the point is you can create whatever you want. I'm happy to share any scripts that we've already created, and I know you guys would do the same if you've done one. But if, pick your topic. I mean, you can talk about Tower Garden, you can talk about just the product, the Children's Health Study, or the shred, or we did one a couple weeks ago that was really well received. We've done two, Ryan, right? Something was basically tips on surviving summer.
Yeah, that one was fun. And then we did the meal prep event, which was really good.
Yes. Meal prep.
So,
and I think those were really well received because they were events that we were giving people information on something that they needed, like how to do some meal prepping. And through that event, we posted information about Juice Plus as part of our scripts. So part of our posts were related to, things that would help other people make meal prep or meal planning easier. And then also posts about how Juice Plus plays a role in a healthy lifestyle. And I don't know if we have that actually scripted. I think we kind of made it up on the fly. And I'll see if I have a script I can share on that one.
Yeah, we were going to go through and clean it up because that one was a little crazy. But it was really, really good because people want value. They don't just want you to saw something of them, right? So that was a good one. And I think that going forward, we want to keep trying to find those kind of events that we can create so we can add the value and then sprinkle in stuff along the way.
Kadria. She's getting
crazy.
It's a crazy girl. Oh gosh. Yeah, she's the 2-year-old. She's the middle child. Okay, so on that note, we were talking about just doing events that weren't specific to Juice Plus, and I think Ryan and I found when we were inviting people to those, when I was inviting, I was asking people first if I could invite people, and I had a really great response with when I asked people, like, we're hosting this event on meal prep to try to help, people make meal prepping easier. Would you be interested in attending, or could I invite you? And it was overwhelmingly, probably 90% of the people I asked were saying yes. Because I didn't, there was no, hey, I'm having a Juice Plus event. So people didn't have their guard up. They weren't feeling like I was trying to sell them something. I was offering them some information on something that they needed help with. So they said yes. And we did have a lot of activity, we did have a lot of activity in the page, a lot of comments and participation. And even though people may not have commented on our posts that were specifically related to Juice Plus, we know they saw them. They saw all of the other ones too. So we should probably talk a little bit about follow-up too, Ryan. So when I follow up with people, when you are hosting your event, you can see who's in there. Typically, like, you go through your posts after you've done the event and see who hit the like button, who made comments. Those are the people that were actively engaged during the actual event. I'm gonna mute Francie because I think she was making some noise. And then, so I start with those people, and first of all, I reach out and thank them for attending. And ask them, hope you liked the event. I hope you found some value in it. Or maybe ask them specifically, like, what did you like the most? To try to get a conversation going back and forth with them. Because you're not going to just jump out at them and say, hey, thanks for attending. Are you ready to order Juice Plus? That's not going to work. We know that. So just to make it conversational and let them start asking you some questions. But if you start by asking questions, and Tim has taught us that a lot of times on our Monday night calls, just people love to talk about themselves. So let them talk, let them tell you what they liked the most. If you can get them to start having that conversation, and then hopefully you can at some point validate, why you love this product, what it's done for you or for your health or your finances or something. And then just, maybe that will lead to an order. All the people that pop into your event are not going to order Juice Plus, but if for every event, if you get maybe an order or two, it's totally worth it. That shred event that we did earlier in June, I mean, it helped Ryan add 5 shredders to our shred page for July. So worth it. And I got a couple too. So, we need to do that again, because my husband went in there and did a live video. And he's recently lost 38 pounds because he's been following shred guidelines. And yeah, that helped get some attention of the dudes, which is so much more difficult when women are trying to talk to men about weight loss. But when a guy talks to a guy, it's like, I get it. Hey, this dude did it. So we'll have to do that again and just open it up maybe at some point later in July and do it for the whole team.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I really want to do, this is kind of off topic of Facebook events, but I want to do some in-person events on the shred like Katie Page was doing, because that was obviously super effective for her. Sorry. And then Sean can come be our model. They can see him in person.
Right. Put on some skinny jeans. Peg the bottoms. Oh my goodness. So with your follow-up, after, like I said, you can go in and see who the obvious people were that were liking or commenting. And then I go back to the people, and I'll do a screen share again. I'm going to go back to the people in the event, like where you can go and see 52 people attended, 6 said maybe, 205 were invited that probably didn't respond. So I'm going to go in here and I want to see these lists of people. So I see, here's went, maybe, invited, and the people that were stupid enough to say they couldn't come. So shame on them. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to say, okay, Lisa Pearson. And she's actually I got this girl to sign up to do the shred because she came to this event. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to private message her, like, you can hover over this and you can just send a message direct from here to Lisa Pearson if I want. You can send one direct. Do this to my husband because he won't see it. He's on a plane. But yeah, you can send a message right here. I can message my husband and say, you know, thank you for coming to our event. Hope you enjoyed the information, blah, blah, blah. And then just, you know, would love to follow up with you. Would love to know what you think. What were your favorite posts or takeaways? So you can message them direct that way. But what I want to go into is see, what about the people that said maybe? Why, you know, would they like to change that to a yes? And, you know, hey, don't forget the event will remain open until this date. You still have a chance to go in and check out the information. You can turn some of those maybes into a going. And then the people that were invited that didn't click yes, if you scroll through here, I mean, there's 205 between the three of us that didn't click yes. So if you want to message those people because you really want them to, maybe it's just a handful of them, you really want them to see this information, you can message these people as well and kind of nudge them. Don't forget that this, you know, the event's open until whatever date, and, you know, hope you have a chance to check it out. Would love to know what your thoughts are after you see the info. Can I follow up with you next week? Something like that. Like, leave it. And Tim probably has some better tips on doing all that follow-up too. He's really good at that. Or Ryan might.
Actually, Jan. She's the queen. The follow-up queen.
I'm trying to read some of my, make sure, what are you posting? Why do you post every 3 hours? Oops.
I actually am really, that's where I struggle, is I'm bad at follow-up, which is bad because the fortune's in the follow-up, right? So I actually need to get better at follow-up. But we do have some examples, and we can share them just on the team page for like inviting text and then follow-up text.
Yes, if that would be helpful. And then I'm trying to read the comments here and make sure I didn't leave anything. I think, Rebecca, I think we answered that question. You asked, what are you posting and why every 3 hours? Okay, so whatever the topic is, Jen can talk more offline. And like I said, we'll share scripts with whatever we have so that you guys can have them. And then just amongst yourselves, you can figure out how you would want to divvy that up. What does your live event look like? I think we did that. We just showed how so in the event, you can have people go live to share and talk. And we need to tighten up that script for the meal prep so I can share that with you, Rebecca. I've met men that want to lose weight. Talk about the live event, Rebecca said. So in the live event, did you see though, Rebecca, how in our shred event, we had people go live. So that's what we meant, was just when we said that during the, you know, hey, join us for this live event, we had people go live during that event at some point, but we didn't say specifically when, because we didn't want people to tune out, just kind of keep them on their toes. Does that make sense? The event is at the specific time of the event or the specific live videos. We did not tell people specifically when people would be going live in the event. You can, or if your event, like if you're doing, and I've done it once before, gosh, when the shred was relatively new, I did do a live event, and it was just so that for 15 minutes, I was going to be going live speaking specifically about what the shred is. So I created my Facebook event and made that the detail to say, on this date and time, come into this page and join me for 15 minutes where I will be describing all the information you need to know about what the shred is. And so I went into the event. I did the live video and spoke for 15 minutes. So that video was in that event. And then that was it. The event was over. But people could go back in there and continue afterwards to watch the video after I had posted it. So kind of like
yeah, so people just share like their quick 5-minute shred story. That's what they're doing, Rebecca. So when we do the event, we have all the posts throughout the day, but then like 3 of us will pop on and share our story about how, you know, the shred helped us.
Yeah. I think mixing it up between live videos, quick live videos and posts with educational information is, I think those are better attended. I
agree. I think they're better received too, just from what I've seen. Just, it's more exciting.
Yeah, and people can pop in, like when people comment back, if I invite them to that, oh, I'm going to be out of town that day. I'm like, it's okay. The event's going to be open for a whole week. You can pop in whenever you want. Like, make it easy for them instead of you have to be here at this time or you're going to miss it. I mean, you want to create some FOMO, but you also want to make it easy for them to be like, it's totally fine. You don't have to be live. I just would really love for you to check out the information. So, and I'm thinking, was there anything else? I think some tips I would give you, if you don't regularly use Facebook, it's really important. It will make it more successful for you if you start to become more engaged. You should be in Facebook every day. You should be growing your friends list. I have 855 friends on Facebook. Like, I don't know. I literally have no idea who these people are. But at least when I'm inviting to a party, I'll go back and invite those people that were hitting like to some things. It gives me an excuse to invite them to something. But I think it's important, if you start to become more active, don't just be a stalker in Facebook. When you're using Facebook, it's important for you to be liking other people's posts and commenting on your friends' posts, because that creates an algorithm in Facebook, and it tells Facebook, Patty, FOMO is fear of missing out. So it creates an algorithm, and it tells Facebook, Kristen likes to see this content. Kristen liked, somebody's post about going to the lake. Even if it's not anything relative to you or pertinent, hit like on people's stuff, because then it will, I want to be able to see the people that I went to high school with in New York. What are they doing? Because I want their stuff to be coming up in my feed when I'm scrolling. Even if I don't like them, I want to see what they're doing to see if something that I can do or offer can help them, or if Juice Plus will fit somehow into their lifestyle. So I want to be able to tell Facebook, I want to keep seeing those people. So don't be a stalker. Make sure you're hitting like and commenting once in a while. So be active and engaged, grow your friends list, because then when you're inviting people to Facebook, you have people to invite. Does that make sense? Because if you're never on there and then you pop in to do an event, they'll be like, wait a minute, I didn't even know you used Facebook. And yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you guys have any more questions, or how do you connect with high school friends? Just as far as how I communicate with them, Rebecca, or? I didn't hear what she said. As far as where do I find them? I've been on Facebook for, when did I start? When did Facebook start?
1984, I don't know, 1990?
I don't know. I've been on Facebook for a long time. So when I first started Facebook, I was just friends with, you can find people, if you go into your friends lists, I'm going to show you guys too. I'm going to do some stalking on Facebook. So I can go into, if I go to my page, I can go to my friends list. Ooh, look, I have 878 friends. It's so cool. So, okay, so here, Pam Fraser is one of my high school friends. I can go to Pam's page and I can see who her friends are. So she may be friends with people that I went to high school with. I can send those people a friend request. So I can see her friends without being friends with them. So it kind of chain reaction from there. I went to high school with this guy. I can go to his page. I can stalk his friends and send them friend requests. So you can grow your friend list by doing that. I mean, or if it's maybe it's a past coworker, somebody like that you just want to, go and see who your friends are friends with, and you can send them friend requests, and that's how a great and easy way to build your friends list. And then you have an excuse to be inviting people to things, because we know we always have to have reason to be inviting people to things. I know I was using Teamsy for a little bit and I got really bad about it, but one thing I noticed when I was doing it was it constantly made me remember, like, I have to have something to invite people to. So I was always like, I got to have Facebook events. I've got to have live in-person events. And then when you're having to invite people to things, you can't just out of the blue invite people. You kind of need to have, you're not just going to friend them one day and invite them to a party the next day. You want to, have a list of friends. So, and then Patty said too, you can search if you know their names. You can just do a search for them and find them, friend them, and then stalk their friends list.
Build those relationships.
Another way too is looking at your friends that you're already friends with and what they're liking on your page, and then click on their friends, because they probably have friends with the same likes that they do. So maybe it's nutrition or whatever. So start looking at their friends and kind of looking at stalking their page or shopping their page, we'll say. And if they have the same interests of food or health or whatever, just send them a friend's request, hit or miss. They'll accept, they won't, and then but you have to track who you've requested so that you can always follow up.
How do you find your friends that got married? I mean, many of my high school friends, I have no idea what their last names are anymore.
It's hit or miss, and you just put in their rate. A lot of people, like, I've got 2 names on mine. I've got my maiden name and my married name, so a lot of people will use both. So you just have to go into that search bar and just start plucking away and see what comes up and have fun with it. It's all about having fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry. I was messaging. Okay. My husband's on his way home finally after being gone for 2 weeks, and he just messaged me that his flight's delayed a couple hours.
Oh, poor guy.
Stuck in a delay in an airport when you just want to get home. Okay. You guys have any more questions? Was this helpful? I think I'm going to make a note that I need to share the scripts that I have with Jan, and then you guys can take a look at them, and I mean, you can change them and do whatever you want with them, make them your own.
Kristen, this was very, very helpful. It really created a foundation, I think, for everybody to learn the basics. And then, we, within our individual teams or one-on-one with our upline, just get together. Again, have fun with it, get creative, and we'll just follow up as a team. And this was so helpful. So Ryan, you and Kristen, thank you for all of it. You guys are amazing.
And hey, one tip I would give, if you're new to this and you've never done it, get a buddy. Find somebody who is good at Facebook, that's comfortable with it, and partner with that person to help you, because you don't want to be in the middle of an event and be like, oh crap, I forgot what they told me, because that's when you can call your buddy. And that was one of the benefits when Ryan and Aaron and I host an event. It's like, I'm running late, I can't get to my post, can you cover it? So we all have the script. We can, we've got backup. So do it with somebody that knows what they're doing the first time or two, get comfortable with it. And I think I'm happy to help anybody that wants to partner up with a Facebook event too. So, or I can
we can add you to, we can add you to events, so we can let you know what kind of events we're doing. And then Patty, I can definitely help you with Dropbox sometime.
Okay.
Yes. And that was the app you were talking about. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording.